Hi, ladies and gentlemen of the Prot Warrior Discord. If you don't know who I am, I'm Jakey. You probably see me in there during the day, for the EU anyway. Um, like Griff, I thought it'd be good to get some footage out there of a Prot Warrior and a key, as some people, they don't know if they're doing good or bad in a key. They don't know if their group's falling apart or if it's a group problem, if it's a EU problem sort of thing. So I just thought I'd get some footage out there, talk you through what I'm thinking when I'm doing a key. And my thought process through it. Before we get into the video, though, I just want to talk about one first point, and that is, I get to see a lot of Prot Warriors come in and they say, "Oh, I'm very squishy when I'm doing keys," and they don't really know why. Um, that will come down to mostly play, and if you feel that way, you might be doing a few things wrong. And there's a few basics that I'd just like to cover here that could be very useful for you just to think about when you're tanking a key. So we have a lot of ways to mitigate damage without shield block or ignore pain or last stand or shield wall. Many different ways of doing it. The thing is about Prot Warrior is it's 100% preemptive, so you already have to think ahead of what damage you're going to take, what cooldown you have up at the time next, and you kind of basically need to juggle these around because you don't ever want to take unmitigated damage. Shield block is our strongest mitigation. And obviously you can get a lot more of that with bolster, which means you can definitely play around using last stand. So think about that. But that doesn't mean you should be holding last stand or shield wall ever. They should be used in the gaps because we can't keep up 100% shield block if a fight is anywhere close to getting on to a minute or so. You just can't keep shield block up at all for that time. So you need to fill the gaps with shield wall or last stand, or in the worst case you just have to use ignore pain and pray. So that being said, let's start the video and I'll start talking through what I've done wrong and stuff like that. So starting a key, always good at the start is to just go a bit slow, just check what your group's like, check them out. Mists has a very nice first pull where you can kind of judge what they're like, which is these 5 mobs. So get running, put Rav down, get some rage, shield block, spear, all my CDs. Now I've got some rage, I can just start revenging to waste some. I don't really need ignore pain, I have it up at the moment, I don't need to double cap it. There we go, let's just start moving back because the sanguine's coming. So here I've noticed the healer's a bit behind, we've got grievous stacks, so we've got to wait before we pull, just let the healer catch up. So this pull I know, I made a mistake. So if you didn't know, these soul cleavers, well you probably know they do a dot, but if you stun them, it will sync up their casts and you can spell reflect the cast. So primarily what you want to do is you want to group this, shockwave, spell reflect when shockwave's over, and usually you'll actually get both the stacks. Now in this pack and the next pack I actually screwed this up both times. So this time I don't have shockwave, so I thought, oh, I'll just fear because everyone will be AoEing. Unfortunately for me, that didn't really work out very well. Luckily though, the caster just ran off to nowhere. Its keys and points like this is just to not panic basically. So I kind of made a mistake there, but I noticed pretty quickly that castle wasn't going to go anywhere. Like, you can just leave it. It was just running away to a empty place, and so it wasn't really a matter. And then my problem here is the soul cleavers. So I've run out of mitigation there. Shield block's down, but I don't have it back up. So I've used shield wall to cover that with a bit of ignore pain because I've got the dot. Need to do a bit more damage. Keep going. So me here, when I was tanking this pack, I was like, why aren't these soul cleavers dying? They're really bad. But actually, good call by my group to actually kill the big guy first because of Sanguine. They can get buffed in there, so good on them. And, I rotated my cooldowns pretty well. Healers managed to keep me alive, so we're all good. Moving on to the next pack, as I say, I screw up the soul cleavers twice. So here I spell reflect instantly, pretty much. Yep. And I don't shockwave, so I take both of them. Luckily I have shield block and amateur up, so that kind of covers that sort of damage. Then yeah, pack keys and goes normal. Got Avatar up, no pain, fill the gap, shield block. So here, I haven't got shield block back for 5 seconds. I've run out. I've got ignore pain, and I've still got soul cleavers up. This is a dangerous situation, so I've already started to back up. I've thrown spear just to keep him off me a little bit. Then I've started stepping, and then here, I've just used fear to give me that 1 extra second to get shield block back. That 1 extra second, and it's really useful just to do that. So I've got shield block back now. I can go back in, shield slam, shield block, and I can tank for the rest of the pack. No problem at all. So yeah, just using the dungeon buffs. Good idea if you have them. So there's the purple and the green mushroom here. The purple one actually gives you health, but the green one gives you main stat. So always take green. You can only take one, and the green is always better. So these two here, nothing standard. They just hit really hard physically, so make sure you have shield block up. See, no pain just literally went away completely. Just not really worth having up most of the time. Unless you're taking magic damage, of course. So here you just want to phase 1 to 50, starts thrashing. When he's over and the healer's caught up, you phase the next one. So here my thought process is, I need to save stuff for the boss. Now, the skull marker that's dying now, it pretty much didn't melee me since past 50%, because it was thrashing. So I only really needed it to tank the other one, so I just need to just wait out, just at shield block. Don't use bolster with last stand, and don't use shield wall to do that, because I can use that on the boss, or I can use it for a bigger pack next after the boss. So just get normal prideful, pop CDs because my DPS are going to hold. I don't particularly need them on the boss. I'm not going to be the big damage dealer, but it's nice to kill pridefuls fast, especially on fortified, because they do tick pretty hard. So pull as fast as I can. You don't want to lose many seconds of that prideful buff. Interrupt the boss. Get aggro. Now it's only this guy that melee, the big guy really that melees. The other guy does casts and stuff, so don't worry too much about his melees, but just try and have shield block up for the big guy's casts. And obviously just move into a nice place where you can tank them again. So this group has insane damage. So I was very lucky to join them, or get invited to the key. They basically monster this boss, so I didn't have to use any cooldowns later on or anything. This boss just dies straight away. But that's left me in a good spot, because I still have last stand and shield wall up, and I know I can pull big in the next pull. I was just checking my route there. I don't run keys that much, so I was just looking at my route. And I knew if I picked up this pack, which I don't usually do, I don't have to do an extra pack before the final boss. And because I have my CDs up, I felt confident managing to tank this. So I've just popped Avatar there, cycling through my shield blocks to get them off cooldown. Got shield wall up because it's the start. Demo as it comes off. Now I've lost standard because I haven't got shield block for 10 seconds, so I need to last stand. I need to fill that gap. I need to get my shield block backs. So here, I think my priest, he died looking at the puzzle. And I'm really low at this point. So when you get in situations like these, you have to just not panic. So I use both my file and my health pot at this point just to keep myself up. Give me some time just to move away. And I'm like, okay, I can spear and I can actually kite away from them without much issue. So now I've already got distance. Healer's already back. I'm already healed. Back full. Stun the bite, because that's awful on fortified. If you can, I'd always suggest focusing the foxes first, because they absolutely rail. I think the druid dies to one later. So yeah, just keep kiting around. So yeah, just a tip for the maze. You can actually watch the boss run through the first door, and if you've got track humanoid or you can look over the edge, you can see which one she goes through next. But none of our group were paying attention, so we actually had to do the maze. So just another pull. Get Rav down early, get the aggro, get a lot of rage. So here I haven't got shield block for 2 seconds. Take some unmitigated hits, but shield block's back now. Great. I'm at pretty much rage cap, so I've got to start spending it on something. I use Ignore Pain and Revenge. Always trying to keep 30 though for when shield block's back. You always want to be above 30. So yeah, I think the healer died then to the bite. I check in a second. I get my logs up. But you know, healer's dead. You just got to keep an eye on. Just get some distance. Start running. And you'll be fine. Basically, just don't panic. That's kind of the main thing in pugs, especially in pugs. Just don't panic. Things go wrong. You know, you can. If you just keep you cool, everything will be fine. So another big pull. Well, not a big pull, but stand pull. To get Rav down, damage out. So I have a lot of rage to play with here, especially now I have last stand. You see, I hit rage cap basically all the time, and I'm not using shield slam procs straight away because I'll overcap my rage because I need to spend that rage on something first, if it be Ignore Pain or Revenge. But because I've last stand up, I feel like I'm really tanky at that point, even with these spears going off. So I just decide, you know, this healer's pretty good. I'm just going to start spamming Revenge for the damage. Get the pack over with, because the quicker they're dead, the less damage they do to you. So yeah, another prideful. Lovely. Get this done, move on with the maze. So yeah, you shouldn't be worried about using your CDs on cooldown. Ravage is great to have at the start of a pack, no doubt. But it's also great all the time because it gives you a lot of rage. So I need rage to survive a prideful. I'm just going to spend it when I have it. And I have Avatar and Demo Shout up for this pack, so I can just, when shield blocks up, I can just press Revenge when those two are up and I'll be fine. Yeah. Get Spear up. So here, this Guardian, I completely CC myself. So I've Storm Bolted, and then I've Shockwave, Storm Bolted, and then I feared, and then I can start kiting, which gives the DPS, or the melee DPS, far more time to DPS because of the circle kick. I still don't know. I don't know what killed that Druid. Maybe it's something I could have done. I'm not too sure, to be honest. So just doing the puzzle again. Yeah, well, it's got to be circle. Oh no, it's full. My bad. So these guys, these mini bosses, some of them are self-explanatory. This one's pretty unique. If you didn't know, his triple bite, you can just backpedal out of it. I do get hit by one because I'm too slow, but I'm Kyrian, so I cheat and just get rid of it later. So yeah, here we're about four rooms in, so I'm starting to think to myself, okay, so it's probably one more room, and then the boss. But as I said, I don't usually take that pack at the start to the right of the maze. So something that made it very obvious to me was the fact that after next pack we get a prideful, and I was like, oh yeah, it's definitely boss time. Like, it must be. So yeah, this is the last pack before the boss. It's 5 mobs, it's pretty big, so I just open with last stand and I press shield block there. So that was a little bit of a mistake. I could have helped. I mean, it doesn't really matter because they stack, so. But that's kind of some wasted time. I could have just spent that rage on something else, maybe Revenge, maybe Ignore Pain, all of that good stuff. So look, pack's not dying. Last stand was wearing off, so I pressed shield wall there just to get through a bit more damage so I can stand in it. Do some more damage. And now CDs are running out. So it's time to start kiting. I haven't got anything left. It's when you kite, basically. Just nice controlled. Make sure they don't go into Sanguine if you can. Druid's very good there. And pick up Prideful. So yeah, after this, as I said, I'm pretty sure the group fan out to do the puzzle again, and I'm like 90% sure it's time to do the boss. So I'm just gonna go for it. Probably a bit of a risk, but I mean, with 4 or 5 rooms in, that's about the time the boss turns up. 60% or over 60%. You know, I've watched enough MDI and it seems about right. So I just go straight for it. Well, after a second, I'm like, nah, it's gotta be here. See, pot, and then we go. So this boss, I know a lot of people like to. Some people like to tank him in the middle. I personally like to take him to the mob. I can do a bit of extra damage on that mob, get out of the phase a bit easier. Obviously, the only thing you need to worry for is patty cake, and you have to be careful. I've definitely leaped away just before patty cake's gone off, and yeah, that's turned into issues. So don't do that. Always make sure you know when patty cake's coming, and then interrupt, then move if it's just about to come off cooldown or the boss is just about to start doing it. Um, you know, it's always a good tip. Interrupt first, then move. It doesn't matter. You're not going to do much damage to that shade, but every little bit of damage you can do can help a key. So yeah, just using shield block before the cast ends. You don't want to use it as she starts to cast. I mean, sometimes you can make a mistake and stuff. Obviously, you just when the boss is casting, you don't really need to mitigate anything. Like there, I lost a few seconds because they were casting guessing game, and then dodgeable turned up. So great. Anyway, we've got what it is. Move there. Try and do some damage to it. Cleave damage with revenge, but I know patty cake's coming, so you know, gotta wait for that. So this is what I meant by the group did a lot of damage. We don't get the next guessing game. I think it's the druid just bursts it at 10% and it dies. So yeah, I was in a very lucky group, but before we got to this point, I knew that like this was a special sort of run, like a really fast run. This group was, you know, after the first few pulls, healer was managed to heal, keep up with the pace, everything like that. Damage was good. Yeah, see, no guessing game. But I'm still not, you know, I could, with a group like this, with this sort of damage, I could go a bit further, right? I could pull like two of these mob packs together and stuff, and some people might feel like that's something you have to do, but honestly, your job is just to finish the key in time. If you finish it with 0.1 second, you've still done a like a good job. You still timed the key, so people can't be mad at you. Your job is just to, you know, keep the pace up. You know, healer's already drinking. You don't need to wait anymore. Just go pull. The healer, he will be there. You can survive long enough without a healer for him to finish that drink, or get enough mana to do the next few pulls. So yeah, just keep going. Only a few packs left. I've run out of shield blocks here because I don't want to use my last stand, and I don't want to use my shield wall because I want them for the next pull, because it's a big pull. You get the flying ones patrol come in as well. So yeah. And with me kiting, I've managed to get both my shield block charges back. I have everything but spear, which is a bit of a shame because I could have done more damage in this pull if I'd done that, but oh well. Rage is rage. Always good to have rage. So we go, I'll pop everything. And because I have bolster with last stand, I just generally press revenge during this. Like, I feel safe. Yeah, I'm at 50% health. Okay, I drop a bit low. Time to shield wall. I got rapture from the healer as well. But it's imperative you don't panic. So I was sat at 50-ish% there, and then I dropped to 20. It's not time to panic. Just, you know, see what you have up. Oh, I have shield wall. Let's pop that, because I'm obviously taking a bit more damage than I anticipated. So we'll just pop that, smooth out the damage. Healer caught up, and then you know, pack's dead. Nice and easy. So there we go. Ravager on cooldown. Get that snap aggro. Get that rage. Got shield block up. Might as well revenge. So now I've got nothing, and like this is a pack that you can't really run from. So I just had Ignore Pain up there, and basically in the Healer's Grace it's the one time you just need to definitely not panic, and maybe use a health pot if you get low or something. Just think through it. I used a health pot there. Yeah, it's all right. Let me start kiting back again. Running out of things. It's another big pool. There's no interrupts in the next 2 packs, but you still want to have shield block up and stuff, and you know, still want your stuff. Don't want to waste it as things are dying. That's a bad move. You want to keep shield block if a mob's about to die. So there, I could have done something a lot better. I could have kept kiting back until that slug's dead. Thankfully, it's not an important slug and it can just die to cleave. But yeah, me running back to the manifestation instead of just kiting back that tiny bit more to kill that slug, that was a mistake. So here on this Prideful, I realised the healer's not got much mana left, so I actually used Avatar and Demo Shout, and as the stacks start to get higher, I'm using Spell Reflecting nor Pain just to dampen that damage even more, especially from Grievous and stuff. So I think the healer potted there because he's got some mana, or he got Innovate from the Druid. So yeah, just a few seconds, let the healer catch up. He's got infinite mana now basically, so he can just heal us out of Grievous, then I can pull the next pack. So as everyone else was healed, I was still on 3 stacks, but it was very high. Nothing the healer couldn't do to just top me when I've already pulled, so pull the pack, keep the pace going, like a nice fast pace. So yeah. Last 2 packs before the boss. This pack is just big slugs. Shield block's running out. I'm like, oh well. Just taking a lot of unmitigated hits, which is bad. But this okay. Just keep going. Get hemmed in a little bit by the paladin there. That's my mistake on movement. I should have moved out into here before and started just kiting them instead of going right and moving to the side. Should have just started kiting backwards because there's tons of room in here. So healers are full mana. I can just fully pull. He might be miles away, but we'll be fine. Got shield block up, and then we just start DPS in the last pack. We know Prideful's coming after this, and then we know it's the boss. Now I'm thinking, at this point, Prideful then boss. I still don't really. I've got Last Stand and Shield Wall coming off the back of this pack. I can use it for Prideful, but I probably want it for the boss, so I can help with the damage a bit more. Healer can do some more damage. I mean, it's this priest anyway, but those sort of scenarios, I don't really need it for Prideful. The healer's got full mana. I can play a little bit less defensively on the Prideful to eke out a bit more damage and save my CDs for the boss. So I have Demo Shut up, but I don't use it, I don't think. So yeah, see, I've got nothing up on these low ones, but I know the healer's got me. I've just done the whole dungeon with him. I know he's got me. I'll be fine. Just pop Spell Reflect at the end because not really that useful on this boss. Then we go straight into the boss. Bloodlust Prideful. Start doing damage. Just hit Revenge instead because why not? We might as well just do damage. Boss isn't really hurting. It's Fortified Weak. So I've got Last Stand up now. Still just generating rage and using it on Revenge. Don't want to overcap, so you've got to spend it on something. Come out of Last Stand. Just get shield block up. And then just keep going. Keep that 30 rage. So that was a mistake, using shield block there. I should have noticed the boss's health. It was going to go into consumption straight away pretty much after that interrupt had gone off. So that was a mistake here. Make I wouldn't really say it was a mistake, but the boss is dying really quickly, and when the ads spawn, instead of trying to run to group them, I'm just like, well, I might as well just damage at this point. Put up shield wall so I can just keep damaging with execute, because it's an execute range. And then spear for more damage. So I'm like, oh. See, this is my mistake. I run forward, stand in the stuff, nearly die. But that can be rectified. I should have just focused on moving out the mechanic instead of trying to hit the things. So yeah, that was my 16 Mists. Very nice run, very good run. It was a really, really good group. So I was happy I got invited. Interested? This is the gear I was wearing. I don't hover over it, but I'm wearing the wall. I got decanter and I got file. I don't have any defensive trinkets. I do have vintage, but I don't think I needed it, and I don't think I did need it after rewatching. It didn't seem to be that bad without. Still don't have a scale, so that's why I'm not running a scale. So yeah, that was my Miss 16. I hope you guys found that informative. So thanks if you made it this far.